Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We offer stories of infidelity, betrayal, and redemption. Please like and subscribe. Cheers. Now, on to today's story. So, this apparently belongs here. Petty revenge against my entitled cousin. This is long. Forgive me, I am a sucker for adding context. People need to know I just don't hate this guy and his kids for no reason. If you don't like long I've TLDR below. I was told that this belongs here rather than on another Reddit, so you decide. TLDR. Hated cousin tried to weaponize my family against me to force me to give him $500 because I didn't get his son an expensive birthday gift like I got the others. After getting browbeaten by the family and doing my best to deal with their crap, I eventually cave and get his son an expensive gift, one I know my cousin will not appreciate. I'm going to try to keep the recap short, as I tend to write what I think and that tends to get long. I have a cousin we're calling Laron. He, his father, and mother are on a list of people I hate with such venom you could die from inhaling the fumes just being near me. Laron and his father were physically, emotionally, and verbally abusive to me and others all my childhood, but their treatment for Laron's little brother, Emmy, was a million times worse because Emmy was effeminate and obviously gay. Emmy was one of my favorite cousins. I love him to pieces and often the more brutal beatings and torments by the hands of his brother came when I ever deigned to stick up for him. The worst was after some idiot guidance counselor convinced Emmy at like 13 to 14 to come out to his parents and demand his choice be respected. Well, that didn't end well. The police were called, Emmy went to the hospital. Laron made a big deal about not wanting to share a room with who insert super offensive homophobic insult. Things happened. Emmy moved in with our nana and through it all Emmy's mother was nothing but a bystander. She let it happen. I had confronted Laron when we got Emmy's stuff, but I wasn't big enough yet to not get my ass kicked. But that would be the last time. Years passed, things happened. Laron remained a douchebag. His father got worse and did terrible things. Treated the family badly and was a constant source of grief for Emmy and others. My Aunt Bibi didn't divorce him until the umpteenth time he cheated on her. And I've always hated her for crying in my parents' house to my mother and other aunts on why he would do her like that when she does nothing but love him. I remember screaming that it's because he's an awful human being and she knew it. She watched him brutalize his children, he hits her and she's crying over him. I told her she was pathetic and I hated her. I full expected my mom or someone to scold me then, but standing next to Emmy no one seemed to want to try to tell me I was wrong in front of him. Years later, many years later. I'm grown, we all grown. They have kids. I don't have kids yet. Though my wife is pregnant now. My cousins, my siblings, all of them have a lot of kids. Age ranges from around 6 or 7 right now for some of the youngest ones, to around 18 to 19 for some of the older ones. My brother's daughter is 18. Laron's kids are 17, 14, and 12. I don't like Laron's children. And not because their dad is a mega douche. It's not even because every one of they mamas is more ratchet than the last with the exception of the 17-year-old, whose mother was a sweet girl I really liked but Laron was too much like his daddy for her to stay with him. It's because despite everyone's best efforts to be positive influences on these kids, their father's influence is king. They are rude. They are violent. They are incredibly ghetto. They steal and are generally on that hood ratish. Moreover, they have developed their father's homophobia and bully the other kids, and bully Emmy's 2 adopted kids cause their parents are gay. I tried having a positive relationship with all of these kids. But I'm no saint. I don't like bad kids. I don't like bad attitudes. I don't like dealing with some of the parents attached to these kids. Because my dad was successful and a lot of his other family was not, there was a lot of friction there. I used to get bullied by them, told I talk white, or that I wasn't black enough. I actually had to learn a little slang in high school just to fit in. Sometimes now it comes naturally, but it still sounds off to my ears when it comes out and I'm not trying. Usually it comes out mostly when I'm angry. Because of this I don't particularly treat everyone the same. Those I like, I got out of my way for. Those I have a stronger relationship, my nieces and nephews who call me, or game with me, the ones who contact me just to talk or tell me about what they're doing rather than just call me to ask for stuff, I favor. In fact, probably trying to get something out of me is the fastest way not to get it. I'm reasonably stable financially and am known to give really thoughtful or seemingly expensive gifts to those I care for. Those I do not or am indifferent to get rinky-dink gift cards. This has been a cause of friction for my family, though before I ignored the little murmurs cause at least no one had the kind of entitlement to confront me on it. Most of them are people who were terrible to me growing up, who sought no relationship with me as an adult, and did not put in any effort. Most don't even wish me a happy birthday on Facebook. So I meet them with that same kind of energy, though I only been financially where I am for like 4 years, so now a lot of folks is trying to be more chummy with me, and it's transparent. So the inciting event was a birthday. La Ron's kid, and 2 other of my nieces and nephews all have birthdays on or around the same day. So they have always shared their party. I like the other 2. So I got them specific gifts based on conversations we've had and their interest. They are all 13, and La Ron's kid is 14. I got the girl a Cintiq because she draws. Given that that is also my vocation, I definitely felt good about that gift. I got the boy a go-kart, cause he's convinced he's going to be a race car driver and always wants one. He was a big fan of Little Giants, which was a movie I watched as a kid. But he liked it and so we got him a little go-kart. Each of these cost around $500. I got some hookups, especially with the Cintiq. I live in a different state. So I had the gifts sent to the kids' homes and told their parents to not have them open those gifts or get them at the party. Specifically cause I wasn't getting La Ron's kid anything like that. I may not like them, but I'm not about to rub their nose in anything. Instead I got everyone gift cards and nice handmade cars of their favorite anime characters. Even La Ron's son got himself as a Naruto character in a card on some lovely cardstock. I spent much time with my X-Acto knife crafting. All the kids got $50 gift cards and I donated money to the joint fund for college for them. Which is the standard thing we do on everyone's birthday, the whole family that can. It's so automatic, pay what you can that I didn't mention it in my journal. Apparently Auntie Harley and Uncle Mac did not follow my instructions and their gifts got opened at the party. Worse, apparently they were opened right out of the boxes so everyone knows what they are and what they cost. I got a very upset phone call from La Ron and his wife accusing me of favoritism and being petty, taking out my anger against him on his kids. I told him in no uncertain terms that my treatment of his children is based on their reaction, not his, cause I hate Bat and Cora, but I love their kids. I told him they ain't entitled to nothing from me. He swears up and down that I shouldn't get anyone anything if everyone don't get something, and that I should just send him the equivalent money because his kid was traumatized by the unfairness of it all. Things got heated and then his current baby mama got on the phone, who ain't related to any of the other 3 and is pregnant with his latest, and she tries giving me the business and I hang up on her. I get 2 more phone calls. One they dial me back. I hang up again. The next my Aunt Monica who had La Ron and EMI's mother, Aunt BB with her. She says she understands and all that, and she knows what's going on with me and La Ron and how I feel about his kids cause they bully the other kids. But she said that my favoritism might be causing a problem and she was under the impression, falsely, from La Ron that I had promised to get his kid a gift of equal value and I'm now reneging because I'm butthurt over something. The first exchange was not good. Especially since they repeated this idea that I send like $500 to La Ron. Things got worse when his mother said something and then asked why I hated her and how I used to be such a good kid. And I went off on her for being a bystander and staying with her husband though he beat her, her kid, and me. I also admonished her for only leaving the guy for cheating on her. Let me be frank. I was not kind when I said this. Not kind in the slightest. I was very mad. After that I got family pressure to just basically make the problem go away. Some quoting that I shouldn't give anything to anyone if I'm not going to be fair. Usually those who I don't do much for. But some folks, even Emmy, had said I'm being too unfair. He believes though his nephew and nieces from his brother are rotten that it's not their fault. He still tries his best to be their friend and buddy, and keeps bringing his kids around trying to have a relationship. I think it's a form of abuse, cause his kids hate it, and they disrespect him and his children. But that's not my call. Laron is still an asshole to Emmy, so they don't have much of a relationship, but Emmy has forgiven his mother. Father not so much. We're both very glad he's dead and we both urinated on his grave. That's not a joke, we said we were going to do it and we did it. If I still lived there I'd make it a yearly event. So Laron and his hood rat have been having the family hound me for days. I'm going through my own stuff since my wife is pregnant and I got my own life and issues and it's really stressed me out. At first I took Reddit's advice and threatened to go North Carolina with anyone pressing me about it. Also, told folks I don't owe anyone anything, least of all fairness when it comes to my generosity. There was a lot of folks coming out the woodworks and emails and pressure. And I finally caved after talking to Emmy. Emmy and I got talking about it and how things are. And he's defending the kids, talking about how messed up their situation is. How it's hard to come out a better person with those negative influences and how they're probably gonna need therapy like he did. And that gave me an idea. So, you want me to spend $500 or so on your kid for a gift? You want me to give him a well thought out, thoughtful gift of that magnitude? Something that I think he needs or would help him, something I know from the conversations I've had with him like the others. Okay, bet. I called up Aunt Monica and told her that I'm going to rectify my mistake only because it was wrong for them to open their gifts in front of him like that. And that I'm not a monster, so I will give him something that costs the equivalent he most desperately needs. Aunt Monica knows me, so she's like, "What are you going to do, unfettered? I don't like how pleased with yourself you sound." I tell her it's all good and to look forward to the gift in the mail. I contacted a friend of my dad's, Dr. Lubzi, who is a child therapist. He said he'd charge $65 an hour. Which is awesome. He's a good therapist, I know, cause I saw him as a kid when I was dealing with all this bullying and stuff. I don't think he was my dad's friend then. I think they became friends after. I told him the story. He knows everything about me, Laron, and Emmy. Me and Emmy multiple times, and even had 2 group sessions with Laron and us and even his dad that one time when we were younger. So he understands the situation, though I didn't let him know or imply I was doing this to be a dick. I am. Mostly, but I do think that Laron's little devil, let's just say Devin, could use it. I talked him into doing 8 sessions for $500, and say I'll pay. He reminds me that even if I pay no one can force the kid to go to therapy, especially if Laron and his mother don't want it. So he says talk to them before paying and then we'll see. I say nah, I'm gonna pay it up front and if they ever want to take it, they can. It'll be my gift to them. He tells me he thinks I've grown up to be an upstanding person. I take the compliment with a shit-eating grin, because I know I'm being a little shit. He said if Laron doesn't take me up on the offer that he'd refund me. I told him that's cool, just don't give the money to Laron. He said he wouldn't. After this is secure I contact Laron and let him know I've changed my mind and I have gotten his son an equivalent gift. I said I'll send the receipt to him and it's up to him if he takes advantage or not. Like I thought, he was upset that I didn't just send him the money. I said these are gifts. He tried to play it off like he wasn't just wanting it for himself, making the excuse that I don't know his son and he'd probably be better at buying the gift. But I shut that down and told him I guessed with everyone else, I'm guessing here. He wanted to know what it was, so I told him he'll see. He got it yesterday afternoon. I got a very angry call. Oh, his rage and anger was sweet. He accused me of questioning his parenting. I replied I am. He said I thought I was funny. I said I do. He said some other stuff and I just smugly reiterated that like with the other children I sat down though long and hard about our previous conversations and what they wanted to do or be and got them a gift I thought appropriate to encourage that. Your son wants to be a successful person and before he can be I think he needs therapy. I have already gotten so many phone calls. And unlike what I thought, there's been a surprising amount of support for my decision. Though everyone knows I'm being cheeky here. Most who supported me think it's a master stroke. My dad, who I'll admit I care what he thinks more than anyone else, said he would have approved of me not doing anything for these leeches, but considered what I did to be checkmate. And said he's very proud of me. I've always been a creative problem solver. My mother told me I'm an asshole, but it was a good move. She was laughing, so it wasn't like she was admonishing me. Most who were against me are saying I was trying to be bogus, but this is actually a good gift for him. Auntie Monica has been dying laughing. Aunt Bibi said through Monica that I was trying to be hateful, but I actually was helpful, so thank you. And some said some mean shit and I told them they can go North Carolina if they don't like what I do with my money. Emmy believes I did the right thing and finds it hilarious. He promised that if Devin does go, he will match my contribution to get him another 5 sessions. Laron and his hood rat baby mama Kimberly are so angry now cause the family are telling them they got what they wanted, and now they're just sounding selfish and greedy. You can't ask for a specific gift. They ain't got much of a leg to stand on. Here's what I know. Laron would have spent that money on himself. I also know if I bought something tangible, they would have sold it and spent that money on themselves. This isn't why I didn't do that. I didn't do that causes I didn't want to give Devin nothing, but being able to foil their selfish little plan was an added bonus. So now, I'm happy and I can focus on my pregnant wife and her current crisis. Yay me. TLDR. Hated cousin tried to weaponize my family against me to force me to give him $500 because I didn't get his son an expensive birthday gift like I got the others. After getting browbeaten by the family and doing my best to deal with their crap, I eventually cave and get his son an expensive gift, one I know my cousin will not appreciate. Rarely do you get petty revenge and potentially actually help someone who needs it in the process, so hats off to you. Rarely you get posts that say they're sorry for the long post and the posts are indeed long. Appreciate it. Thanks op. I like the long posts that don't feel long and this was one of them for me. Beautifully well crafted petty revenge, op. I like the long posts too. As long as they are divided into paragraphs like that was. A singular and long block of text is hard to read. Sorry for the long comment, but I agree. Congratulations to you and your wife. This story was so worth reading all the way through. A perfect revenge that also helps someone in need. I hope Devin gets his therapy and follows in your footsteps. Please update on whether or not Devin took advantage of his birthday gift. You are going to be a great father. Best wishes to you and your family. I got to hope so. There's a lot of misplaced anger in that boy and how he lashes out makes him rather unlikable. He's cruel, not just mean, cruel. And if somehow that can be fixed, I'm all for it. You may not like his behavior and attitude, but you showed you do care by giving the gift of therapy. You can only do so much. He has to want to change and take the steps to make it happen. If it works, his dad being an A about the gift will be the best thing that he ever did for his son, smiley face. Ron needs to remember, if someone's firing shots, only hit dogs holler. If he thought his parenting was good, he'd have no problem letting his son go to therapy. It's like going to the doctor, nothing wrong? Cool, it's on paper, come back in a year or if something comes up. Something wrong? Good, let's fix it, you got an expert dealing with it. If his kid was good, the therapist would say so, and he could say look, paper says we're fine, give fun gifts from now on. but he can't. He knows he got hit. Shit. What you said helped me realize the tantrum my dad threw when a therapist told him that he was the cause of most problems because deep down he knew it and got pissed someone recognized this and called him out on it. He refused to ever speak to a therapist ever again. I just brushed it off to his temper. Thank you for opening my eyes to this. I'll definitely be sharing what you wrote with my therapist next week. I love it. I absolutely freaking love it. You gave a thoughtful gift tailored to the recipient, while blocking Laron from cashing out and spending the money on himself. Hope your wife is doing okay. I come from a family dynamic similar to yours and have been North Carolina with them for many years. Because of them, and other life experiences, I generally dislike humans, but it makes me happy to know there are people like you in the world. You are a good soul. Congratulations on becoming a dad soon, you'll be an amazing parent. Thank you. I'm honestly scared out of my mind. Being a dad seems daunting. NGL it is. But every heartbreak and joy that comes with being a parent makes every single moment you have with them worth it. You've proven you have compassion, empathy, fortitude, and the smarts to make it all work for the better. I'm confident you'll be amazing. Smile. I got a very angry call. Oh, his rage and anger was sweet. He accused me of questioning his parenting. I replied I am. He said I thought I was funny. I said I do. Poetry. Let him know his biggest insecurities are just reality. Let him know his every fear about not being respected is justified. This was a delicious story, loved all the side comments and backstory. I have a similar situation in my extended family but never had to deal with this kind of pushback. Now you go no contact and wash your hands of the soul suckers. The longer this went on, the more I worried it would turn into some lame, smug, pointless revenge. I bought him $500 worth of glitter, but then you got him the perfect gift. Bravo. Some of the best entitled family revenge I've seen in a long time. I know I was fully expecting like a drum kit or something. I too had no idea what the appropriate gift would be, but love this. He swears up and down that I shouldn't get anyone anything if everyone doesn't get something, and that I should just send him the equivalent money because his kid was traumatized by the unfairness of it all. Ha 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 ha, just send me the equivalent money, as though his kid was ever gonna see nickel one if you had. The gift you chose was chef's kiss perfection. Man, I felt the anger. Why is it people only want the world to be fair when it benefits them? Oh, you have no idea. The rant I wrote about this a day or so after it happened on my own page was not this well worded and had a lot more explicative. I needed a day also not to want to say some terrible things. I'll admit, I have a lot of issues about how I was treated by these people. I ain't gonna lie and say I moved on, or that I don't specifically be kind to people who are kind to me, because duck everyone who wasn't. That's totally justified, bro. You don't owe them the courtesy of forgetting the way they treated you. Keep doing you, legend, and congrats on the kid. Yeah, wanting to make pissing on someone's grave a yearly event definitely shows you haven't moved on yet. Good luck though. I hope you'll soon be able to avoid wasting energy on letting someone live in your head rent-free, especially since they're already worm food. Hate is just such a waste of brain power. It was great. You are an incredibly thoughtful human. And a lot of other qualities that are admirable as well. Best of everything to you, wife and upcoming bundle of joy. Smile. I was guessing a drum set, but this is so much better, lol. The length of this story was worth every second it took you to write it. Please give us an update on Devin. I'm all in now. Congrats on your expanding family. You are a god among humans. As someone with a complicated extended family as well, I wish I had your creative problem-solving skills. I do think you should be a bit more liberal with the block feature on your phone, but otherwise, fab. Your writing sounds like you're just talking to me and I dig it. Excellent twist there with the therapy. I honestly had no idea what you had in mind, but then boom. Major congratulations to you and your wife on the upcoming little one as well. Keep it up. Next year you could give a donation in his name to an LGBT plus youth shelter. If when they kick off about that, remind them they didn't use the previous gift, or they could just quit being so damned entitled, and demanding anything from you. This is the second time someone suggested this. I really think it's a great idea. I would do it in La Ron's name too. I might do that shit for his birthday. It sounds like something I'd do. Great story. Yes, it's long, but it was well paced. There's a nice rhythm to your writing. Yeah, you indeed, Defiance. Personally, I would have told them to pound sand, but I have never had a close extended family, so our situations are very different. What you did was way more creative, generous, and more effective. I hope the therapy truly helps the kid. Sadly, I doubt he will ever go, but whether or not, LaRon and Kimberly will not benefit from being what they are from it. Well done. Goddamn, that was a good one. Great storytelling too. There's a saying up, respect in the black family is determined by how much abuse you can take. Think about it and let that guide how your future interactions go with your family. It really feels like that. It feels like when someone in school is ducking with you and you turn and shout at them and you get in trouble for disrupting the class, like shouting, "Stop slapping the back of my neck." Was just a random thing you said. Everyone expects you to just take it. We hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Please comment, like and subscribe. Cheers. Have a wonderful day or night. Wherever you are.